All right. Here we go. So, Weird reported last week, or not last week, on Wednesday, that Jimmy Kimmel, Late Night with Jimmy Kimmel, was suspended indefinitely. That was breaking news on Wednesday as we were getting ready to go, which has become a firestorm of things since then. A lot of people complaining about free speech and whatnot. But before we get into anything, I want to reveal the details that have become out since his suspension, that you don't see a lot of people talking about all these details. So he had made a comments about the Charlie Kirk assassination, and that the shooter came out and said that he was he was a MAGA guy. And then he went on to make fun of Trump afterwards. But the problem with that is it had already been proven, it had been stated by the governor, by the FBI, everyone investigating. No, this guy was definitely on the left. He definitely was a leftist, far left, as how they put it. So, long story short, Jimmy Kimmel blatantly lied on his show, right? Like, it's a provable lie. It's not, oh, he thought this. So the fear is liable at that point. Like, to flat out say a lie on TV, they can get sued for liable at that point. And that's the legal term. That's all there is. And so the affiliates were the first ones that have been like, okay, we're not going to air it because we don't want to get in trouble. We're not going to show his show anymore. We're going to preempt it with something else. So it became this giant firestorm. Apparently advertisers were pulling out, and that was like the whole thing. And then, so Bob Iger, the head of Disney, went to him and said, look, you need to go on your show tonight, state a retraction, and apologize. And then we can figure out the affiliates and get that all cleared up, as long as you go on air and do that.
Yeah.
And he said no. Jimmy Kimmel said, no, I'm not going to apologize. In fact, I'm going to double down on it. And he basically told Iger what he was planning to say. And that's when Iger went, okay, you're out of here. You're done. Your show's suspended. We'll figure out what to do, but I cannot. Yeah. You're a loose cannon. I can't afford to put you on air because you're going to get my company in trouble. So everyone who's running out saying this is a free speech issue, it's not. It's an employer saying, you're hurting my company. I can't put you on the air. You're refusing to do what you're told to do by your boss. You're done. Like, if I started disparaging my company online and my boss came to me and said, yeah, you got to stop doing that, and I said no, they would say, all right, you're fired.
See you later.
That's how the world works. So I wanted to put that all out there before we get into the latest iterations. Danish politics are so ass. So now I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, if there's any place to prove that politics aren't ass, it's here at Superhero Speak. Welcome, Danish Patriot.
Okay, hold on. So let's get to... So this is the first thing that was related to it. Ron says, was Disney holding back the Star Wars trailer a good thing, or should they have taken advantage of the situation? So yes, this has come out that Lucasfilm was planning to release the trailer for Grogu and the Mandalorian, or Mandalorian and the Grogu, the film that comes off the Mandalorian TV show.
Yeah.
And it was going to be released on Wednesday.
Starring Pedro Pascal.
Or Thursday. Yeah, starring Pedro Pascal. But with everything going on and the heat around this whole situation, they were like, all right, Disney's, let's hold off releasing that trailer right now until things simmer down. So I don't know. I don't know what the play is here from Disney, but I don't blame them, because some people are mad at the company right now. So it might not be received with open arms. Obviously, you and I would have been like, oh, this is cool. But
yeah,
I think the thought is, because now they just basically put trailers online, people are going to flood the YouTube with bad comments and thumbs down. And I think they were trying to avoid that, in my opinion.
Makes sense.
What do you think?
First of all, in reading the article that you cited for today's show, I will say that it is a little bit sus, because the person that is cited as confirming that they delayed this because of the Jimmy Kimmel situation, the person he cited for that is just another internet reporter.
Yes.
However, it
This
makes sense.
But this has been everywhere. Like, at least
Sure.
today I saw it quite a few places, but go ahead.
It does make sense because the target of doing such a thing is to generate buzz and excitement for what's coming out. And if there's a news item that is going to steal that, then I could absolutely see them making the decision. This is from an event from May, I think, because they've actually already shown this before, just not to the world at large. While there's no hard evidence that's exactly why they did it, it is completely and utterly plausible. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the thing is, this situation just keeps growing, unfortunately. So there might not be a good time anytime soon to release the trailer.
Yeah. As long as they don't delay the movie, I could give a shit about the trailer. I already know I'm going to go see it.
Yeah. Other
than having something to talk about with you, which I guess is what we were just robbed of.
Yeah.
I'm okay. As long as the movie itself.
Would it be stupid to put it online, but then like disable comments on it? Would that be a bad look?
I don't know if it would be a bad look, but that would be counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. Because, shit, I don't know if this is before or after we're recording, but you talked about the algorithm earlier.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. This was while we were recording.
Yes.
And give us those comments, give us a comment. Which, hey, please like and subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell for Superhero Speak YouTube channel. So if you do that, and this thing that you are trying to put out there to generate hype doesn't hit that algorithm, it's not going to get the hype. So I think that is not a great move. I think it is better off because listen, we've witnessed this, and I know we all don't believe this in the moment, but guess what? 2 weeks from now, no one's going to talk about Charlie Kirk. No one's going to. So yeah, just delay it a week or 2 or 3, and it'll all be gravy.
No, I agree. That's unfortunately usually how the news cycle works. His funeral was today, so I'm sure, there won't be any news about him for a while. But then the thing is, how long is the Kimmel thing going to last? I saw something yesterday that made me laugh. I'm sorry, I might be a terrible person. That Stephen Colbert, when he saw the news that Jimmy got canceled or suspended indefinitely, damn, that should have been me. Because remember, all they did to him was not renew his contract, but he's still on the air. So he's probably PO'd. That was my moment. That would have been my moment. If I was canceled, I would have been able to ride that into the sunset. Yeah. That's another thing too. Like, can you imagine? But whatever it is, whatever May or whatever, you're done. Would you want to keep coming to work every day?
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. I hate when that happens. Like in certain positions, like where I work, if you put in your 2 weeks notice, they're just going to let you go because you have your hands on a lot of personal information that you could do some bad things with. So yeah, you put your 2 weeks in and say thanks, but no thanks. But yeah, I've never gotten to do that before, ever. I've always had to work out every 2 weeks notice I've ever given, and it sucks.
Watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.